In today's hyper-connected world, data is more valuable than ever. But with every new app we install, every search we make, and every voice command we issue, many of us start wondering, is my smartphone really listening to me? Is it tracking my conversations? Is it gathering data when I'm not even using it? Well, in this video, we're diving deep into the myths surrounding smartphone data privacy, unraveling the truth behind whether or not your device is eavesdropping on your life. Buckle up, because what you're about to discover might surprise you. The myth of constant listening. Let's start with the big question. Is your smartphone actually listening to your conversations? Many people believe their phone is always on, silently recording everything they say. Whether it's ads for something you just talked about, or a new product recommendation based on a random conversation, it can feel like your device is more intrusive than ever. But here's the thing. Smartphones are not actively listening to you 24/7. Instead, apps like Siri, Google Assistant, and Alexa are programmed to detect specific wake words such as "Hey Siri" or "Okay Google." Until those phrases are heard, your phone is only in standby mode, not recording. However, mistakes do happen. Studies have shown that voice assistants sometimes misinterpret sounds, causing accidental activations and short recordings. While companies claim these are deleted after processing, past reports have revealed that human reviewers sometimes listen to improve AI models. So why do ads feel so targeted? If phones aren't recording, why do ads seem to know what you were just talking about? The real reason is data tracking. Browsing history and search activity are analyzed to predict what you want. Social media and app data reveal patterns in your interests. Location tracking suggests places you might visit or shop at. Contact syncing means ads can be influenced by what people around you search for. Your phone isn't spying on your conversations, but it is tracking your digital habits. The best way to protect your privacy is to review app permissions, disable unnecessary microphone access, and limit data tracking settings. Tracking and data mining, the real culprits. Even if your phone isn't constantly listening to you, it's still gathering data in ways you might not expect. It's true, smartphones track your location, interactions, browsing habits, and even your app usage. And that's where things get tricky. Apps and websites often use tracking algorithms to build a profile of your preferences, often without you even knowing it. Every time you open a new app, it could be accessing data like your search history, interactions with other apps, and even your location. This leads to the creepy feeling that ads are following you around, but in reality, it's all about the data that you've already provided, knowingly or unknowingly. The role of microphones and cameras. Another fear many people have is that their phone's microphone or camera is secretly recording or taking photos without their consent. After all, smartphones are equipped with powerful microphones and cameras that are always with us. So it's understandable to wonder if they're being used in ways we don't expect. Let's take a closer look at the camera and microphone issue. First, it's important to note that phones cannot access your microphone or camera without your explicit permission. Most modern smartphones, whether running iOS or Android, have privacy controls that allow you to see which apps have access to your microphone or camera. You can easily review and revoke these permissions in your phone settings. However, the real concern arises when an app asks for permission to use these features, often under the guise of providing a better experience. For example, a photo editing app may request access to your camera in order to take pictures. Once you grant access, that app can take photos whenever it wants. But does that mean it's secretly taking pictures behind your back? In most cases, no. The app will only access the camera when you request it to do so. That said, there have been instances where malicious apps or software have been discovered to secretly access microphones and cameras. These cases are relatively rare, but they do highlight the importance of carefully managing app permissions. Always be cautious about which apps you allow to access sensitive features like your microphone and camera. The bottom line is this. It's technically possible for apps to misuse camera and microphone permissions, but it's unlikely, especially with the increased focus on privacy in both iOS and Android operating systems. If you're worried about privacy, make sure to regularly check your app permissions and only grant access to trusted apps. The truth about data privacy myths. By now, you may be wondering, is this all just a big conspiracy, or is there some truth to these privacy fears? Let's break down some of the most common myths surrounding smartphone listening and data privacy. Myth number 1. My smartphone is always listening to me. Your phone is not constantly listening to you. It only listens for trigger words like "Hey Siri" or "Okay Google," and it only records audio when you issue a voice command. It's important to understand that these devices are not actively recording everything you say. Myth number 2. My phone is secretly recording my conversations. While your phone may record audio when you use voice assistants, it's not secretly recording conversations. Your phone's microphone is only activated when you use voice commands, and the data is generally processed either locally or in the cloud. Myth number 3. Companies are spying on me through my camera and microphone. While some apps may request access to your camera or microphone, it's highly unlikely that companies are secretly spying on you through these devices. Smartphone operating systems now give you more control over which apps can access these features, so you can easily revoke permissions if you feel uncomfortable. The truth is that while smartphone companies do collect data, the vast majority of the information gathered is related to your usage patterns, preferences, and behavior, not to any personal conversations or activities that you're not aware of. Protecting your data, what you can do. So, how do you protect your data from prying eyes? While it's impossible to be 100% anonymous online, there are several steps you can take to minimize the amount of data that companies can collect from you. 1. Review app permissions regularly. Make sure apps only have access to the features they really need. For example, a calculator app doesn't need access to your camera or microphone. 2. Turn off location tracking. Only enable location services for apps that need it, like navigation or ride-sharing apps. 3. Use privacy-focused search engines and browsers. Consider using a search engine like DuckDuckGo, which doesn't track your search history. 4. Enable two-factor authentication. Adding an extra layer of security to your accounts helps prevent unauthorized access. By taking these steps, you can regain some control over your data and ensure that your smartphone isn't collecting more information than you're comfortable with. In conclusion, the idea that your smartphone is secretly listening to everything you say is largely a myth. While smartphones do collect data, the vast majority of it is related to your behavior and interactions with apps, not to any private conversations. As long as you're vigilant about app permissions, location services, and privacy settings, you can take steps to protect your personal data. While we may never be able to fully opt out of data collection, being informed and proactive about our privacy can help us navigate the digital world safely. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights on technology and data privacy. Stay safe and keep your data secure.